Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Doge of Venice art stream. I thought I would use an old drawing of Badger Chan to get your attention. My name is Brian, and I'm here to work on some art and hang out. Maybe chit chat. Oh man, I have the hiccups. Something awful right now. Hopefully it'll pass in a moment. It's because I had like a spoon of peanut butter. And peanut butter, I don't know, sometimes it gives me the hiccups. So, working on the Bombshell cover today. Some more. I like how this looks so far. It's very bright and there's positive and it's fun. I think it screams it's going to be a good time, right? So, what are the happenings of the world this week? Well, I have a Breaking Badger coming out later on today that me and my wife did on the main channel about a couple of interesting things. So I'm not going to talk about those. Because I'm going to save them for later. But what's new with you guys? Is there anything you want to talk about? Meanwhile, I'm gonna play around a little bit here with Bombshell's hair. We're gonna make it lighter and slightly warmer, so that it's different. I gotta get in here though. It's almost not different enough. So let's go even lighter and even warmer. That's good. Alright. You asked a few questions about Bombshell. Is she radioactive? No. Her blood? No. Not... I mean, she is... I guess in a way, but only insofar. Not like, you know, she could poison somebody by making them drink her blood. Unless that makes for an interesting plot device. Can she donate blood? I suppose so. What is her blood type? I hadn't really thought about it very much. You know, I know that there are like some people who put a lot of thought into these kinds of little details. Like, for example, I don't know what Bombshell's measurements are, but if I was like had a gun to my head and somebody was asking me, I could probably come up with something. You know, that matches her proportions. But I had not thought about her blood type yet. I don't want to do the whole... You know, a lot of people do this thing when they tell their stories with their characters. They have this unique blood type. And I find that to be, I don't know, boring and uninteresting, I guess. To do that. So I'm gonna just go, she probably has a normal blood type that is common for who she is, I guess. A common for human earthling woman. Let's see how that looks. How's that? Does she regenerate after she explodes? Yes. Basically, she becomes gaseous. Or the parts of her that explode become gaseous. So if she punches somebody and she makes her fist explode on contact, which is one of the things that she can do, then it looks like she has a stump for a hand at the wrist. Until, and there's just like a little smoke there, and then like it regenerates. It sort of like, not regenerates, but it reforms, it reconstitutes itself. Does she age normally? No. No. She ages slow. Yeah, it doesn't, the exploding thing doesn't have an effect on her age. Just her molecular makeup does, though. Okay. That's pretty good. Is she immortal? No. She just ages very slowly. So her molecules still deteriorate over time, but it takes a much longer period of time. Let's see. So, where's the kiss at? It's right here. I meant to do the lasso, goddammit. These lines, yes. Bombshell has a very long half-life. She's clearly dangerous to the environment. Yeah, think of it. I was thinking about that. Like, how long is, I don't know, are parts of Russia that have been like Chernobyl, for how long will it be until that place is habitable again? Is she immune to most toxins and disease, like Superman? I would say no. I don't think so. She has weaknesses. I mean, not like specifically vulnerabilities, but she's not immune to everything. She's bulletproof. You know, she's highly durable, but she can get sick. She's, you know, she's not resistant to magic. She's not resistant to telepathy. She can be drugged. She can be, you know, suffocated. She can't survive in the vacuum of space. Things like that. High pressure environments. Low pressure environments. Somebody made a really interesting point that someone with a high density would have a problem. Like if she had to go deep underwater, she might not be able to come back. And she could die down there. So she's not invulnerable to everything. Yeah, her powers are radioactive at their core. That's the source. So, what is this? Oh, I see. Maybe this will pop more. Oops. If I changed it... No, that's not working either. Can barely see it. How am I gonna make that pop? She's bulletproof but can catch a common cold. Yeah. About 50,000 years. Sure, there you go. Could she evaporate a lake? Like by exploding? I don't know what you mean. Maybe I'll make it pink. Let's see what that looks like. I have an idea. Maybe, let me see, where are all the lines at? Is this all of that? Okay, let's take this. And gotta make some changes here. I'm having a hard time making this heart kissy thing pop out, so I gotta push this stuff in the background further back. So one way I'm gonna try to do it, oh, by using nuke powers. Yeah, probably. I mean, a small one. I would say the destructive power that she exhibits when she blows up is enough to maybe like at the most possibly level a city block. So quite large, but not, you know, like emptying the oceans or anything like that. And that may not become a factor. You know, like there may not, although it depends on the conditions, there may not be a situation in which leveling a city block becomes necessary. If that makes sense. There we go. How's that? Warhead level or TNT level? She has World of Cardboard syndrome. Kind of. I mean, yeah, she has to like, but it's like she has to constantly think responsibly, and I think it makes that kind of fun. That doesn't mean that there won't be enemies or situations I will actually put her in real danger. The press wouldn't appreciate leveling a city block. Yeah, unless you were fighting in like an abandoned part of the city, or, you know, like some bombed out place, you know. So let's see. So I was thinking I'm gonna give her a shadow. So maybe I can do that on this layer. No, I won't do that. What I will do is... Well, I'll do that at the end. I should probably do some shading on Bombshell's skin and gloves and hair. So we'll start with the gloves. Oop, shit. There we go. What was that? Did you see that? That was weird. Oh no, it just changed her color. There will be blood and light gore. Will there be blood and light gore? Yeah, when necessary. I want people to like So I want to shock people to a degree. Abandoned like Superman destroying half the city and no one dies in Collateral. Well, not like Man of Steel where it was clearly in a populated area and they were just going fucking buck wild. But like, if anything like that happens, it doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I mean, if it was an abandoned city or if it was like some place that nobody lives anymore, or if there was some condition, you know, in the plot that basically made it to where there are no people at the time, then she's probably more likely to cut loose. But if, you know, if it is populated, which I would imagine will be most of the time, then she'll have to be measured. But like, you don't want to, you don't want to, like, you know, never do a situation where she can't cut loose because people reading want to see it. And at the same time, you never want to have a situation where there are no consequences for her actions, right? Because then there's no tension. So you need tension and a cause for it, and you also want to like give the audience you know, something to look forward to see. So. Building construction companies would love to hire disreputable people to engage Bombshell in fights at abandoned sites, charge for cleanup, and then build up buildings. Yeah. It's not a bad idea. A little bit, I don't know, not super dramatic, but... Okay. So I'm going to keep on shading. All right. So what else is new? What's going on in the world? There's a character in Hero Academia that has the same power. Oh no, I don't want to watch it, because then people are going to say I'm stealing. And I had the Bombshell idea since... let me think. Bombshell was a character idea that I had in probably like 2008. Well, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, because I came up with her like right around, if not before. I think it was a little bit before... Obama became president. So like it was probably like 2007 or so. That's exactly why I tend not to watch things that interest me if they're similar to characters I have. Yeah, because the thing, I don't know what they do, right? If I watch it, then I think it will affect, it could have an influence on my choices, and I don't want that to happen. So I try not to do that. But Bakogu's sweat is nitro. He doesn't blow up. Okay. Well, that's different then. I've always thought the idea of self-destructing was cool. And the only character that I've known that did it was this Marvel character named Nitro. But he was a supervillain. And I didn't really read his story. Like, so I know he was from like a Captain Marvel comic. Back in the 70s. And, I mean, I dug the concept. So I was like, oh, wow, that's different, you know. But on a villain, it's a little bit too easy to, I don't know, like let them get reckless, right? Because they're villains. They don't have to worry about being responsible. But if you took the same thing, like taking superpowers that villains would likely have a field day with and then giving them to heroes can be fun. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, shit. Let's zoom in a little tighter. What else is going on, dudes? Is Bombshell gonna have an arch nemesis like Joker to Batman? I think that it quite possibly. I have multiple villains. I think that the way that you should do the writing of villains for heroes, unless you have something really solid in mind that is just like so important, like I guess in the case of Joker and Batman, I think that what you should do is tell the stories with all the villains you have, and then see what resonates the best, or what the audience responds to, you know, and then I guess make that your villain. I think that's how I would do it. So I have a lot of characters ideas in mind, but I'm not really sure which one is going to be the arch nemesis, right? So you can, and because it's mainly because I want to keep an open mind about what I want to use as an arch nemesis, like, but she'll definitely have a rogues gallery. I think in the early Superman comics, Lex Luthor didn't show up as a potential villain until much later, and a lot of other characters were already established, and the Joker may have been even the same way. I'm not sure though, don't hold me to it. But in the case of like Spider-Man, for example, who is his arch nemesis? I would argue probably the Green Goblin, but some might think it's Dr. Octopus or Venom or you know, somebody else, right? Kingpin, I don't know. Bombshell's main villain is homeless children. Blue-haired chat flat chest. You know, there are people who would say that flat is justice. Spider-Man's main enemy is lack of funds. Green Goblin has the most effect on Spidey because there's a personal connection. Yeah, if you're doing the Harry Osborn version, for sure. So for me, I have a lot of different things in mind. I think there's one that has the greatest potential to be a nemesis, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna make it because I have a few characters that I think could all be worthy of that title for, you know, any number of reasons, whether it's because it's a personal connection, or because there's history, or because there's, like, you know, their powers are sort of like, you know, designed to oppose each other or something like that. Guess you've heard about the Bowsette in the Badger News. In the Badger News? I mean, I know, what is there, like, I know about the Bowsette thing, and it's fucking weird, but whatever, it's the internet. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Always try to, like, and I'm guilty of doing this myself. Back off your image and look at it. Even with Norman Osborn, Spidey doesn't want Norman hurt too badly because he's Harry's father. Yeah. There was a TV show called Beware the Batman, which focused on lesser-known villains, but it got shit-canned. Yeah, that's one of the things I don't want to fall into either, is, you know, this whole, like there are people that are just, they just think that Batman has to be, first of all, folks at DC and Warner Brothers, they made this fatal mistake of thinking that everything DC has to be Batman and or Superman and maybe Wonder Woman, and that was it. And they have so many characters, you know. I didn't talk about Bowsette on Badger News because it's not newsworthy. Exactly right. Like, why? Not my thing, my man. Hello, Zen Man. Fucking ants. So yeah, I try not to, I don't want to fall into that same trap of, like, you know, because I have this character, Bombshell, I have to, like, have this specific villain because that villain is representative. I think if you have a lot of really great ideas, people want to see them all. You wanna hear an unpopular opinion? I like Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery more than Batman's Rogues Gallery. I actually think Batman's Rogues Gallery is really fucking overrated. All it is a bunch of crazy people with various crazies. And then, like, the occasional, like, other person that's not. But mostly, it's just people with various psychological issues, and that's it. And even though Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is mostly animal-themed costumes, they're a lot more interesting to me. I like them more. And I think those are considered, like, the two best Rogues Gallery in comics, is either Spider-Man's or Batman's. It's like this ongoing thing. And I'm not crazy about Batman's. I think that it's okay. It's just kind of, it's really overrated, though. Batman is overrated. Changed my mind. I wish they would give the question a show. Yeah, the question is the shit, man. That's what I mean by, like, these, you know, underused characters. Like, the question, when he was on Justice League Unlimited, voiced by, I can't remember his name, but the guy from Reanimator. That was my favorite character. It was so well done. I liked him even more than Rorschach. Rorschach? Alright, let's take a look. How does Bombshell look now? Kraven is Spider-Man's best villain. Very underused. Kraven the Hunter is a really underused guy. He hasn't been in the movies yet. You know who else I really like that I didn't like at first, but I really dig him now? Mysterio. I love Mysterio. I think that is a really fucking interesting character. DC seems to have some issue with psychology, psychologists, and or psychiatrists. Well, you know, the person who created Wonder Woman was a psychologist, I think. The guy who made the lie detector. Alright, let's look at the... Are you going to import the Bombshell title? I am, at the end. So I might have to move things around after I put it in, but I think I have sufficient room for it up top. Not as boring as Superman, though. I love Superman. I do. Also, Green Arrow has some cool villains. Mysterio is rumored to be the villain of the next Spider-Man. Yeah, that's what I heard. Flash has the best Rose Gallery. Yes, the Prankster. And Captain Cold. And is it Mirror Master? Is that another one? Some of them are okay. They don't have the greatest names. I don't like Superman myself. I like Superman. I think that he gets a bad rap, and I think that the entertainment industry does not know how to tell a good story with Superman, but I like Superman. So Superman is the John Cena of DC. Are you sure about that? I don't know what that even means, to be the John Cena of DC. What does that mean? Captain Boomerang, yeah. Ugh. I mean, really? Gorilla Grodd is good. I like him, actually. I do. That's a good villain. Flash does have some good ones, though. Yeah, I like Grodd. Superman's power set ebbs and flows. When John Byrne did a run on Superman, that was my favorite. DC definitely, like, definitely could have done Superman better in terms of the writing, but I think the idea has a lot of merit, and the character, because he started superhero comics, that I have admiration for him for that. It's like Superman to me is like, it's like a character from Greek mythology, like Hercules or Achilles or something. And I think that you can tell, or Beowulf, you know, you can tell amazing stories with those characters than you can do it with Superman, is how I see it. Have to bounce. Have a good day, everyone. All right, Mike. Thanks for dropping by the stream. The show Danny Phantom would have been an awesome comic if it was TV-14. Oh, it means he's garbage. Okay. Well, I'm not going to fight you on it, but I disagree. Agree to disagree, then. Dog is so well behaved right now. I can't even believe it. Jojo is so quiet. He's just laying there with me. There were some duds. X-Men is pretty neat. That's one of the things I also like about what I'm doing in Bombshell. It's kind of like X-Men too, in a way, because a lot of times the mutants, their powers always, either the powers came with, or the characters themselves came with, like, a massive flaw of some kind. You know? For example, Storm had these incredible powers, but she was claustrophobic. Or some of the mutants would have a power that had a limitation built into it. You know, like Beast looking like a freak. Or Rogue can't touch anyone, but she has, like, these great powers, you know? I like that a lot, and I think that makes for really interesting and fun characters. So, it's not the writers of Mr. Hope. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Superman? Still on that, my man? So there's this new Joe Rogan video I saw. It was a clip. Speaking of Boda. And Joe Rogan is on, he's doing his podcast. I don't remember who his guest is. Let me save here before something tragic happens. And I gotta go look at it. Hold on. Am I getting messages from people? Let me go and I'll tell you in a second here. Oh yeah, so Joe Rogan is talking about this World Cup sexual assault controversy. It's not really a sexual assault, but where I think it's in Korea, but I could be wrong. Could be China, but I think it's Korea. This guy wins. This guy is reporting on it, and there are women that run up and kiss him on the camera while he's reporting, right? And Yeah, Cyclops is cool too. It's a good one. And so these women are kissing this guy while he's reporting on this World Cup stuff. And it started a controversy where basically people were like saying, you know, like if this was a woman and there were men running up and kissing her, we would be like flipping shit and like all over Me Too. And Joe Rogan's chiming in on this, and he's basically just blatantly saying it's different for men and ignoring that we don't know if this man is gay. We don't know if this man didn't want it. I mean, yes, he was smiling and laughing. We don't know if that's from discomfort. We don't know if it's from joy. But it's the principle that matters. The principle being that if the genders were reversed, this would not be acceptable. So why are we making this acceptable? And if we are, then why are we overreacting when things happen with women? Like when Morgan Freeman makes a comment about what a woman is wearing or what a woman looks like. We treat that as almost as severe as, you know, a straight up rape. And so, yes, Joe is not woke on this stuff. He thinks that he's being reasonable because he's in quote unquote the middle, but he's not. He's being a gynocentric fag. And he doesn't understand that this is not... It doesn't matter whether or not the guy wanted it, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that we have two different standards that we are holding people to. And I wouldn't have a problem with it if we were applying that across the board, where we were holding men and women to different standards everywhere. But it seems like the only place that we hold them to different standards is when men are assaulted versus when women are assaulted. So, no, I know you told me about... That was a different one, though, dude. This is very recent. I even commented on that. Rogan won't have Karen on. He won't because he thinks that he's the reasonable guy because he's in the middle ground, right? And that he just doesn't understand that, like, that woman that kissed that man on a camera, she can go run for office and nobody can say that she did anything and nobody would look into it. But if we did that with a man, suddenly we have to stop the presses. Don't make this guy, you know, a Supreme Court justice, or don't hire this guy in your job because once he ran up and kissed a female reporter or something. Even if she liked it, it doesn't matter. So yeah, he's full of shit. Surprise, surprise. Alright, doing the skin tone. Usually a little bit this way. Let me see if this is too... No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I told you about that woman that kissed the guy and Joe being a gynocentric twat. I thought this was a newer video though. This one that I have. Bill Cosby, I think the dude's name was. Right. We can, like, men are guilty of these things, and it doesn't even have a statute of limitations in terms of time, right? And the left and the right both do this. They hold them like ultimately accountable no matter what. Okay? Women, they have all the excuses in the world that we make for them. You know, we just make excuses for them constantly. And if you try to point out a double standard, you're called a fag. This is why, and it's by men, like Joe. All right, I do have crappy memory. I apologize. So aggressive. These are a few of my favorite things. It's a good song, but it seems weird. Weirdly out of place. I saw a clip of Joe talking with an army recruiter. Oh, you weren't watching my stream because you were watching Turd Flinging Monkey? That breaks my heart. All right. Says fewer people can never meet the minimum standards, but the comments are all talking about how the army is basically shit. Like how? Like they're just like shit quality, or like they're shit because they're the army? Like are they just like anti-military comments in general? MGTOW doing big things. I guess. Sure. They are the tip of the spear. I agree with that. Well, that's weird. I guess that's on another layer. Brian, are you doing an Indiegogo for Bombshell? I will, but I'm not going to do it until I have something to show that I think people will be interested in. So this is just a cover art. I don't think this is enough. I'm going to do about 5 pages in at least the pencils for it that sort of outline the direction of the first story and the general tone of the book, as well as, like, you know, highlighting my ability to tell stories with the artwork. And then based on, then when that's done, then I will do an Indiegogo. if I get and see what the response is, you know, like what my odds are. So that's another reason why I haven't like asked if I can come on Ethan Van Sciver's stream yet, because I feel like I need to. I'm not gonna go over there and have nothing to show for it, you know. You gotta have something to show. They're businessmen. That's their whole thing. That line was bugging me, so. Could you maybe haze the background and bring the kiss and bombshell forward a bit? Well, you know, it's funny, I did do that. See? But I am gonna do something else, which I caught just a little while before you guys said anything. Let's see. Looking forward to it. Well, thank you. I hope I don't disappoint. Alright, so here's what I'm... Oh, fuck. So let's take a look now. Wow, the details are looking great. Well, thank you. Scroll up to see what I got from the comments of that Joe clip. Don't join the armed forces because they will treat you like you're disposable. No gratitude, and you're abandoned and blamed. That's the gist of what I got from it. Ah, I see. I mean, that's the military, in a way. Well, so yeah, our military needs to treat its men better, obviously. But I think our culture needs to treat its men better, too. Like, there's a lot of like anti-military people in our country, and I'm not like, you know, gung-ho for the military per se, but it's necessary. Like, we have to have a military. We don't live in La La Land where everyone gets along, you know. So and the fact is too, we need if we're gonna have an effective military, it's gotta have men. So we need to like change the way that we have to like have more reverence for men and masculinity in general, so that we can have, you know, some kind of like concept of honor for people in the military. So the podcast is with Tom Papa, and it's about 3 weeks old. The one that I was talking about, where the guy gets kissed. So it's not months ago. So I think I don't want to do too much more detail on the Bombshell image, but I do want to add some highlights to the flying kiss. That was the thing that I wanted to do. So where is the flying kiss? Where is it? Whoa. Okay, that's the hair. It's that part. It's sometimes you just gotta like find it, you know? You're like, where did I put that layer? Where is that layer? This is Bombshell naked. This is Bombshell with clothes. Just kidding. Everybody's like clicking over to this tab now. Where did I put the kiss? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, there it goes. All right. Terrence Pop definitely served. There you go. And let us clean this up a teeny bit. Also, can add like slightly darker shadows. Three-dimensional kiss. When Bombshell blows you a kiss, it's in 3 dimensions. There. Should be pretty easy to see now. One last thing I think I'm gonna do, because I can't fucking help myself. So would you guys, do you think it would look good if I colored in the lines, for example, like this, on her? Or do you think black is just fine? Like if I did it, for example, I would change the hairlines from black to like a really dark, you know, like a brown color. I would change the glove lines to, you know, a really like darkish, you know, shade of the yellow that I'm using. That would probably be it. I probably wouldn't really fuck with anything else. Are the kisses explosive? They could be. I mean, wouldn't it really cool? Like these are some of the images I think would look cool. Would it look cool if Bombshell headbutted somebody and her head exploded, and then she'd be like headless for like a couple panels? And people would reading the book would be like, "What the fuck?" You know, that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. I have some weird preference to the black outline. Yeah. Black is cleaner looking. Okay, so I'm getting votes for the black lines. I'll leave a link. Oh, excuse me. Of Joe talking about the guy that was kissed in the comment section. Okay. Beta Mosquito. Oh god, yes, proper fun. I don't know what that's in relationship to Beta Mosquito. Oh, the headless thing, probably. The headless thing could be a weakness. It won't grow back. It's not like it comes out of like her neck like Deadpool or something. It's like the gas solidifies, like it basically forms her head. So it'd be pretty clean. Her head exploding would be awesome, yeah. And it would shock the readers, right? So, you know, that's why I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm like spoiling things, but I think a lot of people would be reading it and they would be like, what the fuck is this, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to like shock people. Like, see, I'm a big fan of traditional sort of 4-color Silver Age comic books. That's a lot of my inspiration comes from that. But I'm also a big fan, and I'm also a big fan of like Bruce Timm stuff with Justice League when he was doing the Justice League animated show. I also really dug that. I thought that he was telling some of the best stories for animated TV. And then even Marvel had a really good one called Avengers Avengers Mightiest Heroes or America's Mightiest Heroes or something like that. It was short-lived. I think they only did like 2 seasons, but it was really good too. And it had that Bruce Timm kind of feel. It wasn't him, but it was like the same kind of way that they told stories, where they had like a meta arcs, you know. But I am also a big fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and one of the things that's really cool about JoJo is that there's a lot of really weird things that happen that leave you wondering, what the fuck did I just witness? And then they kind of explain it later, and it makes perfect sense. You know, but it's still like shocking to see, and that's the kind of stuff I want to put in too. I want to weird people out with some of the ideas. World's Mightiest Heroes, or Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's what it is. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If you can like watch any of those on YouTube or something, they're really good. Like, I like them. The animation wasn't like amazing because it was TV, but it was good. I like that show. It had a great style too. Since it's like 25 people here, I'm guessing you're not really spoiling things in a wide range. Yeah, I know. 25 is like the highest number of people I've ever had watching me, though, that I know of. 29? Holy shit, son. That's amazing. Okay. So, let's do this. I'm going to make a copy of the line work. So we're going to copy that. And I'm going to put that on top. And I'm going to make it invisible, because I might need this later. Alright. So let's save what I have so far. And then I'm going to flatten the bombshell layers. So we're going to make this other stuff go away. So it's just her on the background. And then the layers that exist, we're going to flatten. Let's see. Combine showing layer. What? Yeah, okay. Let's see if that's what it does. Oh yeah, it did. That's her right there, right? Yep. Okay, so now she's on her own layer. What's that? Oh, that was the fist that I never used. I don't know what that is. Alright, so we're gonna bring this other stuff back. I don't think any of this other shit is necessary, and it doesn't matter because it's underneath anyway. Alright, so now that I have this, we're going to... Nothing flat about Bombshell, yeah. Okay.
Like, ever since I met you, my life has taken a turn for, like, the best.
What's on this layer? Is there nothing on this layer? Okay. Move this selection a little bit. Like, maybe, where would I put it? Let me think. It looks like the sun is right there, so I'm gonna put it right here. Alright. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know how this is going to look, but it might actually help quite a bit. So I'm going to add more screen tone. Let's see. Oh, I got that backwards. So we're going to invert the selection. Okay. And now I'm going to do it again.
I hate the way you're always right.
We're going to
I hate it when you lie.
put this here.
I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me
Wait,
cry.
hold on. Is it in its own layer? Yes!
You're not around, and the fact that you didn't call. And mostly I hate the way I don't hear you.
Alright, tell me what you guys think about that.
Not even at all.
Can you guys see it? Tone policing. Rest in peace, Bobs, yeah. I'm gonna save as. I'm gonna change because I don't know if this is gonna be the final direction I go. Alternate. The top has a bit of the shadowing too. I know. I'm gonna erase a little bit of it. Because I don't think it's necessary to like do it exactly. I'm a fan of the shadow, yeah. So you're gonna make her develop like the kid in My Hero? I don't know what that means. Starting out OP, as the time goes on, she really learns to control it. So Bombshell will have some knowledge of using her powers and will have experience in the field when the book starts. There will be flashbacks of her before she gets them, how she gets them, and then like learning to use them, and all of the possible fallout, no pun intended, that has come from her, you know, like people that she's interacted with and all that. So let's get in here and refine some things. I don't mind, I like this a lot right here, this right here. It sort of tells us, yes, she has big boobs, deal with it. This right here, this curve is nice. This one, I don't think is necessary, so I'm gonna get rid of it. It's just too small to matter much. And I don't think, I like the hair bit there, but I don't think that you need this either. So I'm gonna get rid of this too. Maybe the one underneath the kiss? Nah, that's weird. I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay. Let me just make sure that it's going from the side here, because this eraser it needs to be more opaque, I think. Okay. Now, save again. Let me see. The kiss shadow could use a little more distance to make the lips being closer to the viewer. I don't think I want to put the shadow on the lips, though. Alright. So let's do this. I've saved. Let's import the title. I hope this is the PNG. It is. So I'm going to move this to the top. And I'm going to resize it so it fits. What the fuck? It's upside down. Okay, and there's one other thing that I saw that I gotta erase too, and I know that one of you guys mentioned this. There's a shadow bar up top. No, it's not on purpose. I'm gonna get rid of it now. Let me go to the eraser tool. I need to make sure that this goes away. Okay. No, I'm gonna get rid of that right now. Shadow on the right. Oh, I think I may have just gotten it. There's a little bit of lag. One other thing I want to do here is... Let's see. I'm going to lighten up the logo. There we go. How does that look? Too bright? No, looks good. Yeah, I just needed to adjust to how it was blended. That's all. I could theoretically even make it look metallic by like doing this. Theoretically. But I'm not gonna do that. Bombshell. The S doesn't read. Non-professional says it's good. Okay. So, I'm gonna leave it at that. I could do a little bit more tweaking, like, for example, what origin do you prefer, mutants or people that gain their power from some kind of accident? I'm more of a I think mutants is a little bit of a cop-out because you just get to say that they just were born with it. I think it's sort of like needlessly simplifies things, but I don't know that it has to be an accident every time, but it could be like any number of factors, you know, like they were granted it by something, whatever, you know. There's one other thing I need to do. I have to like make this like the new logo, I think, but so all right. I'm not, yeah, Beta Mosquito, I'm not gonna jump into an origin story. I'm jumping into the action and the fun, and then I'm gonna do the origin story later. I think that the origin story could be a mystery without going full on Wolverine, where it's like I'll never tell you, what they did with Wolverine is they waited so long to tell people the origin that by the time they got around to telling it, nobody cared anymore. So, or they kind of were like fine not knowing. I don't want to wait that long, but I want to treat it more like how they did. They did somebody like that. It was Captain America. They did that way. So when Captain America first came out in comics, they didn't do the origin story. They just had him fighting Nazis. And then when they, much later, they decided to give the backstory. It was much later. I mean, the Jack Kirby art style had changed. That's how long it had been. So I want to do it like that, although I don't want to wait that long. But like, I want to wait. I'm not in a hurry. So, all right. So I'm gonna end it here. I think I've made a good, decent amount of progress on it. I would say the cover is almost finished, if not finished. I might do a little bit more to it though. I'm thinking about maybe adding highlights to the hair, maybe like some other things. But I don't want to overwork it either, because I don't want people to think that this is the indicative of what the interior art would be. So in Medias Res, I think it's called, Diversity in Comics keeps preaching about how it's the way to go. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd like to know if you could say that. So anyway, I'm gonna end the stream, and this is my working cover for Bombshell. For contrast, let me show you what it was going to be. So let me see, where is the other image? I'll open it. Hold on. The other one that I almost did instead, what's the difference between these two? Whatever. Was this one. Now, look at these two. I personally think that this cover is a much stronger one than this one. I mean, I like the image, and maybe I'll use it for something else, or like do like a reimagining of the same sort of scenario. But I have a preference for this cover. So this is how far I've come in just the short amount of time that I've been doing these streams. I've worked on this cover, got to a point where it was pretty damn close to being finished, changed my mind completely, and did this one. And I like this one more. So I think this is the darker one could be used for volume 2. Yeah, but if I would just redo it all together though. If I did it at all, I would redo everything. I'd change. It would be like a new drawing. I would start all over. But I might reproduce the scenario, but I would definitely start over. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about the stream. Tell me what you guys think about the work that I've done today. And yeah, just remember, I'm definitely gonna be making this happen. Bombshell is a reality. She is my character. Although this costume, I don't know if you guys noticed, this Bombshell has a slightly different costume. I've gone through lots of different versions, and I like some more than others. I think that right now this is my favorite. I like the how it's kind of like a sleeveless thing, and then you know you have the boots and the gloves. That's my preferred version of it, but nonetheless, this one still looks all right. So thank you guys for joining me on the Doge of Venice art stream. I'm gonna take off now. I'll see you guys very soon. Tomorrow I'll do another one at noon after I do the patron-only bonus show for Honey Badger Radio. I'll see you guys later. All right, have a good night, people.